welcome to the deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're getting into a really interesting review. It's from Moviescramble, written by Mary Munoz.
Ah, yes, about hesitation wound, or teردütizgisi, I think, in Turkish.
Exactly. And our plan for this deep dive is, well, to unpack what this review says makes the film tick.
Figure out why it connects with people.
Yeah, especially this whole theme of stress and pressure that the review highlight as being so relatable, even with these incredibly high stakes.
Right. And the review sets up a contrast immediately, doesn't it?
It really does. You know, you hear legal drama and you think, I don't know, grand courtrooms?
Polished wood, brass fittings, that kind of thing. Very official.
Totally. But this film, the review says, forget that. We're in a small local courthouse. It's described as sterile, functional.
And wasn't there something about a leaking roof?
Yeah, a leaking roof. So zero glamour right from the start.
And that contrast feels important. Like the reviewer saying, okay, this isn't going to be some shiny, idealized version of justice.
Exactly. It grounds it, makes it feel more, I don't know, real, maybe a bit worn down.
Mm-hmm. Bit dilapidated, maybe. And it signals that the drama is going to come from the people, from the pressures within that system.
Right. And at the heart of it, the review tells us, is the main character, Canan. She's played by Tulin Özün.
And the film apparently covers just one really intense 24-hour period in her life.
Intense is the word. The review details just how much pressure she's under, like, all at once. It's quite something.
This sounds like where that relatability factor comes in, that feeling of being totally snowed under.
Totally. So first off, she's a defense lawyer on a life or death case for her client. Huge stakes there.
Okay, massive pressure already.
But at the same time, she's dealing with this incredibly personal, agonizing decision about her mother, who's brain dead.
Oh, wow. Whether to take her off life support.
Yeah. So those two massive things are happening simultaneously.
That's almost unimaginable pressure converging.
And the review points out it's not just the big crises either. There are these smaller, everyday frustrations piling on too.
Like what?
Well, her car's in the garage, just a practical headache, you know, but it adds to the stress.
Another thing to juggle.
Right. And on top of that, she's got her own health problems flaring up. The review mentions stomach ulcers.
Oh, yeah.
Dizziness. Even nosebleeds. It's like her body is physically reacting to all the chaos.
So she's literally falling apart while trying to handle everything.
Exactly. And what the reviewer finds really compelling is how Canan tries so hard to keep up appearances.
Trying to look immaculate on the outside.
Precisely. Projecting this image of control when, you know, everything inside and around her is just mayhem.
And that's the core relatable thing the review identifies, isn't it?
That's what it argues, yeah. Because, okay, maybe most of us aren't juggling a murder trial and a life support decision.
Hopefully not.
Right. But that feeling of everything hitting you at once, of trying to hold it together when you feel like you're crumbling.
Yeah, that resonates. We've all had versions of that, even if the specifics are different.
Exactly. The review puts it nicely. It says the film captures the stress of having to show up at work, perform at a high level, maintain our personal lives, and keep on top of our physical and mental health right when you feel like you just can't.
So the situation is extreme, but the underlying feeling, that's universal.
Yeah.
Sounds like a key insight.
Definitely. So, moving on a bit to Canan's character, beyond just the situation, Tulin Özün's performance is praised.
Called compelling, determined.
Yeah.
The reviewer felt she was like a safe pair of hands at first.
Yeah, like you trust her to sort things out. But then there's this added layer the review brings in.
What's that?
She's returned to her hometown, this place called Uşak. She got her degree in the UK, worked in Istanbul, and now she's back.
Ah, okay. So she's maybe seen as different, an outsider.
Exactly. The review mentions she faces jealousy, sneering even, from her sister, the judge, the prosecutor, people who stayed.
Right, that village mentality idea. Resentment because she went away and maybe did well for herself.
Yeah, it adds this whole other dimension of tension. She's not just fighting the case, she's fighting perceptions in her own hometown.
And the review mentions visual details reinforcing that.
It does. Her clothes, for instance.
Yeah.
Neat dressing style, silk shirts, heels.
Carefully styled hair, delicate waves, or a chignon, it said. Very put together.
Yes. And specifically, that detail about her teal blouse really popping against the dull background.
The institutional beige walls and sickly green corridors, yeah.
It literally marks her out, makes her visually distinct, reinforcing that otherness the review talks about.
And does her character change over this 24 hours?
Well, the reviewer notes her approach gets gradually more aggressive. She becomes more dogged in the defense as the pressure mounts. That initial safe pair of hands perhaps gets a bit tougher.
Okay, which brings us to the client she's defending. Musa, is it?
Yes, Musa, played by Usulkan Arman Uslu. He's facing life for his boss's death.
And there's a really striking detail the review includes about him.
Oh, yeah. That one really sticks with you. He shows Canan his arms.
The hesitation wounds, marks from previous suicide attempts.
Yes. And he tells her, basically, if I'm found guilty, I won't fail next time.
Wow. That's incredibly bleak. It just puts immense weight on Canan.
Absolutely. It ramps up the stakes massively. And the review suggests that because of Erzin's performance and details like this, you, the viewer, start to believe Musa is being framed.
You feel like local politics are at play here, as the review puts it.
Exactly. And that theme of local politics, maybe corruption, seems pretty central, according to the review.
It's not just background noise. It's woven into the fabric of the story.
Seems like it. The review gives some specific examples.
Like?
Well, remember the leaking roof in the courthouse? Apparently, the mayor is busy promising a new minaret for the local mosque while the courthouse itself is falling apart.
Okay, so skewed priorities. Shows where the power lies, maybe.
And then there's the suggestion that the real killer is being protected.
Ah, the one who's studying abroad. Shielded by family money and influence.
That's the implication. It points to a system where, justice isn't exactly blind. Connections matter.
And the review gives an even more shocking example of this, involving Canan herself.
Yeah, this is quite something. It says Canan actually bribes the judge.
She bribes the judge?
By offering her mother's organs, her brain-dead mother, for the judge's injured niece.
Whoa, okay. In exchange for a favorable verdict for Musa.
Exactly. It shows the protagonist herself being forced into these really morally gray areas just to operate within this corrupt system.
That's powerful. It suggests the system itself forces impossible choices.
Right. And all these examples together, the review says, create this feeling of a seedy world, a place where everyone kind of hustling in order to survive.
Leaving the reviewer feeling a little grubby. That tells you something about the film's atmosphere. It really immerses you.
Yeah, it's not just about external corruption, but how it potentially corrupts even those trying to do good within it.
And as Canan is juggling all this, the trial, her mom, the car, her health, the pacing of the film apparently reflects that.
Yes, the review says it gets increasingly hectic, mirroring her stress, keeping all those various plates spinning.
Makes sense. Build the tension.
And there's another nice visual touch mentioned, a storm brewing over the town.
An ominous black cloud threatening weather.
Yeah, reflecting the internal storm building inside Canan and the escalating chaos of the situation. It's a classic technique, but sound effective here.
And the ending. The review flags it as quite unusual.
Very. It apparently just stops, right at the peak of everything. No neat wrap-up.
No neatly drawn conclusions, no justice served, no happy ever after. That's quite a statement.
It is. You're just left with the feeling that, quote, chaos will continue. It deliberately avoids giving you that sense of closure you often expect.
Especially in a legal drama, right? You usually want some kind of verdict or resolution.
Exactly. But the reviewer actually describes this ending as thrillingly sharp.
Leaving you gasping for breath. So frustrating, maybe, but deliberately so.
That seems to be the idea. The review suggests the film kind of revels in its chaos instead of trying to tidy it up.
Which sounds quite bold.
It does. So, summing up what we've gathered from this review, Hesitation Wound sounds like it hinges on a really powerful central performance by Tulen Özen.
Using this seemingly mundane, small-town setting to explore these huge themes of pressure, stress, systemic issues.
Yeah, and how someone navigates that when the system itself feels, well, rigged, it sounds challenging. The reviewer uses the word exasperating even.
But also deeply relatable and impactful. You can see why it might connect with audiences.
Definitely. And the fact it was up for that audience award at the Glasgow Film Festival suggests it did. People responded to that intensity, that chaos.
Yeah, this review certainly paints a picture of a film that avoids easy answers. It presents this raw slice of life, really, trying to cope when everything hits you at once, in a world where maybe the only way to get by is to bend your own rules.
It absolutely makes you think, doesn't it, about those systems we encounter. What happens when they feel stacked against you? When, like Canan, you're pushed into choices you wouldn't normally make just to function or achieve, well, maybe not justice, but some kind of outcome.
Or even just thinking about how we handle that feeling. The film seems to capture that lack of neat endings in life. Sometimes things don't resolve cleanly. There's just the ongoing situation, the continued chaos.
Right. How do we deal with that reality? What does accepting that ongoing messiness mean for us?
Definitely something to mull over thinking about the world this review describes.